Grazie a tutti, buonasera.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for being here. First of all, thank you very much to our pupils and students who have come here to receive their diplomas, for which they have worked so hard. This is something really important for us, and this year we have decided to give even more value to this event. And this is why we have invited some illustrious speakers who will take the floor in our ceremony. First of all, Councillor Mrs. Elena Donazzan, who gladly followed our invitation. We also have here the President of the Fondazione Centro Produttività Veneto, Mr. Alessandro Testolin, who is responsible for the School of Arts and Crafts, where our pupils have studied. We have here with us the Director of ITS, Mr. Cosmo Gigliotti. And we also have the pleasure to have here with us Mr. Piero Marangon, who plays different roles. He is a member of the board of Cosmo. He is the regional president of Craftsmen. He's the president of the Vicenza Association and represents here the whole industry. My name is Roberto Peripoli. I mean, you've probably seen me around the school several times, so you probably know me. I have to say that we're experiencing a very positive situation. The world of jewelry is reacting very positively, also in terms of figures, with an increased production, with an increased GDP. And we're very glad about that, because considering the difficulties of schools to find pupils, we have actually been flooded with requests, so this is a reason for great satisfaction. Without further ado, I would like now to leave the floor to the President, Mr. Alessandro Testolin, the President of the Fondazione Centro Produttività Veneto, who will certainly have many interesting things to tell us. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for waiting for us, notwithstanding this 15-minute delay. Thank you very much for being here. We have a very numerous audience, and thank you to all those who are here as speakers, Councillor Donazzan, Mr. Piero Marangon, Mr. Gigliotti. It is a wonderful day. Well, let me just give you some historical data. The school you have attended is a very ancient one. It was founded by the Accademia Olimpica back in 1858. And it was set up with the support of the Austrian-Hungarian prefect. It was an evening school, and evening meetings were not deemed to be appropriate at that time. But anyway, it was immediately possible to see that this school for arts and crafts applied to industry was a significant step forward. The Accademia Olimpica wanted to bring art into manufacturing. And at the beginning of, from 1862 onwards, the end of the school year was characterized by prizes being given to the best pupils and giving diplomas during a public event that at that time took place in the Olympic Theatre. So we are actually rediscovering an ancient habit, making this event public again, and it is a great pleasure to have you all here. I would like now to leave the floor to Mr. Gigliotti, who is the founder of the Cosmo Foundation, the director of the Cosmo Foundation, and it is fair that also Mr. Gigliotti can say something in this respect. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to highlight what our pupils have done, the diplomas that they are receiving. And as you rightly said, highlighting these diplomas in an event like this one allows us to reward our pupils as well as enhancing their competencies. Since 2011, we have received a mandate from the region, which was that of listening to what companies needed and creating training and educational courses. And this is what we're trying to do, and hopefully we will go on doing that in the future. We have grown a lot. We have numerous partnerships. And ITS Cosmo is characterized by the fact that all our partners throughout the years have remained our partners, starting from CPV, with which we started a cooperation in 2014. And since then, CPV, Centro Produttività Veneto, has been our partner, with which we work very well, and many of our pupils, for instance, we have a percentage of pupils coming from other regions, confirming the fact that the Italian jewelry industry is well known all over the world. And also our course in jewelry is becoming well known beyond the regional borders. Last year, since we believed that cooperation was working well, we decided to further implement our offer. And we started a new course. For some time, we had already been thinking about separating the creative part from the technological part, the use of 2D and 3D technology. And we doubled our courses. And so today we have 2 active courses in Vicenza in our School of Arts and Crafts. So this is just to tell you that we have not only started a cooperation, but we have also consolidated it, because we believe that the school, the CP and the CPV are 2 reliable partners, and they must go on working together. We read this daily in the newspapers. The National Resilience and Recovery Fund will provide us with new possibilities, and we are going to use resources to improve our workshops. And I believe that this is also going in the direction of a cooperation, and all this is possible because the region has allowed us to do what we're doing. The Veneto region is characterized by two elements. We have the lowest number of ITS foundations, but the biggest number of courses, confirming that there is a desire to identify a few foundations to reach excellence. And this paid us back because we are classified at the top in the national lists. And this means that we have been far-sighted and we were able to do this thanks to our region. Thank you very much.
And now, let me give the floor to our friend Piero Marangon, who, as we said, is part of our industry, and he has a daily experience in the industry, and he's also greatly experienced in the training of his kids. We're undergoing a time of transformation. We just started quite a few years ago. There's a heritage that we want to preserve, and we look at the past also with the tools of the present. That is, new technologies and all that goes with it. So, Piero is our distinguished speaker, and he may share with us some thoughts on the subject. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. I'm used to talk at plant. I'm not used to talk to before such a large audience with so many distinguished guests in the audience. So I feel very much at ease in this hall. I think that I feel like we are at the theatre for jewelers, and I think that this is the best suited venue for this award-giving ceremony, for this diploma ceremony, and to communicate to the new degree holders that this is their new home. They are welcome in this new family, a great family which is going to welcome you with great affection and warmth, because you as young people, as young members of this home, are most welcome again. I'm speaking on behalf of the Italian Vicenza manufacturers. This is a school that is an Italian point of reference when it comes to goldsmithery. It is certainly an excellent example, and there are as many as 600 goldsmithery industries in Vicenza, so there's quite a large number of goldsmiths, as many as 1,500 in the whole country. And I believe that the situation vis-à-vis training has changed dramatically. Earlier on, manufacturers were just waiting for young students to be trained, expecting schools to train young people so as to make them ready to start working with us. But I believe that the situation has changed. I firmly believe that now companies are part of the training, are there to give training. And here today we see gathered all the people that contributed to training. There are the regional authorities, the schools, the professors, as well as the industry. Again, we're all here represented. Indeed, training requires in-company training, and companies are part and parcel to it. Companies are pretty much directly involved in the training of young students, so we have to be trained to be trainers as well. Craftsmen are often referred to as maestros, as masters, and We are maestros ourselves. We have to be teachers ourselves. We have to contribute to training. We have to be fully aware of the role we play, because this is the most important role. There's no point in welcoming young people in our companies, asking them to perform menial jobs. Indeed, together with CPV, we've decided to hold training courses, training for the enterprises. We wanted the companies to get training themselves so that they could welcome young students at best. Indeed, we have decided that tutors are to be identified within the companies so that they can be trained in becoming, again, tutors through psychology class and educational classes and so on and so forth. There's not much that I wish to add. I'm very pleased to look at the young students ahead of me and their families, because I want to say that you're not just labor, you indeed represent our future. You're going to represent this industry, the industry that is the whole of the world is jealous of, because of the great skills that we can master. So you can contribute to luxury, to the so wonderful legacy of this job. I'm sure that you're going to fall in love with this job, and I'm sure that you're going to do that at the highest level. Thank you for this heartfelt words that have just been shared by representative of the industry. And I'd like to give the floor to the Veneto councillor for training and education. I'm very pleased to stand when I speak so that I can look at you in your eyes. I have been granted the honor to have the final speech of this short panel discussion before the diploma is finally awarded to you. I'm talking to the young students amongst you. There is a high training which is delivered at this school, not just the diploma, but after that. The diploma is acknowledged at the European level as a diploma of high-level training. And I'm going to address the relatives and the parents amongst you. I am sure that you're going to be happy of your choice, because your children are going to be very much looked after. They're going to be gratified. And I think that you can be sure that you have ushered in your children in the right way. So you can be rewarded because you've done something good also for all the industry and region. So to the parents here, we remember that now we have primary school and then middle school and high school and university. But now, next to the university, we have the Academy for Finance and Conservation. So not only do we have one path for second level education, but we have, again, the academies, and your diploma fits very well in this new pattern. Community level number 6. The law was included into our legislation, so much so that your degree, your diploma now is at the same level as a university degree. You've been very right in starting this school, this academy, because the Fondazione Cosmo of Mr. Gigliotti. Gigliotti stated that Veneto has made important choices. The strength of ITS, of technology training, is that of having foundations with the matching of private and public funds, with entrepreneurs contributing money to the public authorities, so that the delegates from the industry can state what kind of professional figures are required. And there are private foundations that are led by managers or entrepreneurs. In other regions, they decided to have university professors, but we weren't interested by university professors. We wanted to have, obviously, university included, so we always have delegates from the academia as well, but the top level is always accounted for by a member of the industry. We wanted to set up as many foundations as the ones of the top industries, and certainly goldsmith industry is one of the most important. Cosmo indeed is the first foundation. It is the largest foundation in Italy. It deals with the fashion industry. And now Gigliotti is going to add also the other specialties. You also deal with silver works, gold works, eyewear. In Veneto and in Lombardy, there's an overlapping with the districts. So we decided to issue training consistent with the industries. In Veneto, we are in Longarone with eyewear. In Montebelluna for the sports system. In Riviera del Brenta for the classic footwear. In Padova, apparel and the digital industries, as well as knitwear. Then in Vicenza, there's goldsmithry. In Arzignano, the tannery. Valdagno, sustainability. We are also in Bassano for technical and sports. And in Verona, apparel in cooperation with Calzedonia. So fashion industry that has to cooperate.
The entrepreneurs in this room know how important contamination is, and jewelry is the most noble part of all this, the most sophisticated. They speak the same language, and sometimes we have to aim at the appropriate integration. Everything is an accessory in fashion. Much depends on how you manage to put them all together. The same is true for metals. Mr. Gigliotti mentioned eyewear. Well, also in eyewear, all the different processes and the contaminations are fundamental. Spectacles and glasses are no longer just glasses. They are part of the fashion system. And that's why I am here to talk about ITS. Some years ago, many years ago, I've been counselor for 18 years, so I have quite a long-lasting experience, and I remember those times when the narration, the storytelling was completely wrong. The jewelry industry was viewed as something residual. Well, I hope that, apart from the diploma that you have worked for, I hope that you will be allowed to visit the booths here and you will discover the power. Most of these companies are from the Vicenza area. They speak an international language. They're part of a value chain. They work with the best companies worldwide. They are the best companies worldwide. And they need the intelligence of hands, which is very sophisticated. A very high level of intelligence. I mean, you may talk with some entrepreneurs here, and they will tell you that you can have the best designer, but if you can't produce, if you can't manufacture that beautiful item, then you've thrown your money out. So being able to manufacture is actually more important than the design. So you have worked very hard. You have accumulated competencies, and for sure there will be amazing companies asking you to work for them. So my wish, as Mr. Marangon said, and I totally agree with him, what I wish for you is to come back here in a couple of years, sitting on this side as entrepreneurs, as excellent experts in this industry, to tell us about this industry which is evolving. And after learning at school, we will see what you will be able to do. Congratulations for all what you've done so far. Thank you very much. Thank you, Councillor, for your words. Now we're going to assign the diplomas. We are going to give them to each one of you. Then we will ask you to pay attention for another 10-15 minutes to talk about the rebranding of our school. The name of our school is Scuola di Arte e Mestieri, School of Arts and Crafts. As we've heard, it was founded in 1858 by the Accademia Olimpica, and now maybe we need some sort of revamping of the name. So within the logics of the gold jewelry value chain, we have thought about a possible name. We have thought about possible transformations, which will be illustrated later on by Professor Timoteo Framartino. But this will be done later on. The time has now come to hand over the diplomas. So the diplomas will be personally given by our councillor, Elia Campagnolo.
Mary Carmen Cosi.
Mary Carmen Cosi.
Lei? Ha già avuto qualche offerta? Bene, anche lei.
Clara Dalla Riva.
Clara Dalla Riva.
Diamo la mano anche al direttore. Lei si è ingaggiata? Sì. Bene. Ragazzi, 3 su 3 adesso,
Isabella De Montis.
Isabella De Montis.
Da dove arriva lei? Palmanova. È stata ingaggiata? Sì. Bene.
Letizia Famularo.
Letizia Formularo.
Manuel Matteazzi.
Manuel Mateazzi.
Venga qui. Lei? Ingaggiato.
Martina Mosna.
Martina Mosna.
Anche lei.
Giorgia Nardon,
Giorgia Nardon,
Ci tiene anche il direttore, sta poverino.
Michele Vicentini,
Michele Vicentini,
Ingaggiata, Vicenza. Chi era questo?
Jacopo Vinchesi,
Jacopo Ventesi,
Bella stretta, Jacopo.
Gloria Voltan,
Floria Voltan,
ecco. No, ecco, abbiamo altre 8 persone.
There are 8 more people who could not be here today because they're working. Anyhow, thank you very much. So thank you very much to all of you. Now, I would like to leave the floor to Timoteo, who will provide us with some ideas about the new brand we're going to start with this year, officially from the 1st of January, actually, next year. Well, we're going to provide you with an anticipation, with a teaser. Fondazione, Centro Produttività Veneto and Scuola d'Arte e Mestieri have the purpose of training young people and adults, because our pupils have an age range between 14 and 99. That is, if you can make it at 99, but we are becoming more and more active in our older age. Anyway, we provide a type of training that, thanks to a tender that we have acquired, we will be able also to provide training to companies. So we have dual education for children from 14 to 18 and 2 post-diploma courses provided by ETS. So figures are growing because companies have been supporting us as interested and interesting counterparts. And this continuous exchange has led to the idea, with the support of all the different categories, including Piero, the idea of defining a new image, not to negate the past, but to stress our history, thinking about the present, because the future is now. So, bye-bye Scuola d'Arte e Mestiere, and welcome Gold Academy Vicenza 1858. With the acronym GAVI, G-A-V-I. A very simple acronym that hopefully you will all remember quickly. And we have debated about the name for a long time. We have debated with all possible counterparts, and we chose this name for 4 different reasons. Gold. Vicenza is a city of gold, and we always be the city of gold. And we want to be the school of gold, because we already are the school of gold. So we will focus, just like we did in the past, but to a greater extent, on providing education and training in this field, which is a huge field. Academy. Because we want to provide education to people from 14 to 100. If you want to come and learn the basis of a job, because of course you learn something at school, but then it is in a company that you really learn to work. Well, if you're interested in this, come to our academy. Vicenza, the city of gold. And we want to be the school in Vicenza, the city of gold. And we do not want to forget where we come from. More than 150 years ago, we started with this project, and that's why 1858 is part of our name. So we have a very old goldsmithing tradition, but since 1858, we have had the Gold Academy Vicenza School. We will renew our image, thanks to the support of Paolo Marangon, an excellent designer. We have reviewed the colors, because, of course, you must stand out. You have to stand out if you don't want to become extinguished. So these are our colors. This is our logo. Our website is already online, www.gavi1858.it, where you will find our training syllabus and our educational syllabus, as well as the testimony of our former students. So students are our heart. And being a school, we can proceed with trial and error so that we can be sure that our pupils are ready to take on the challenge. The most beautiful part of the websites are the pictures of our former students who will grow in number, and they will talk about their heritage and what they've learned in our school and what they have brought to their jobs. Thank you very much. This is all for me. Thank you very much. You've been very, very quick. Well, shall we take a picture? The councillor would like to have a photograph with all the pupils who have received their diploma. Please join us here on the stage.
Vedete, abbiamo un assessore molto operativo che
As you can see, our councillor is very active.
ecco.
Allora, ci dica lei ci dia indicazioni.
No,